In the heart of a bustling metropolis stood the steel and glass tower of Stratagem Industries, a global tech empire helmed by the enigmatic yet brilliant CEO, Alexander Hale. Known for his sharp intellect, steely composure, and unshakable ambition, Alexander had built the company from the ground up. But success had its costs. His life had become insulated, his perception of the company clouded by boardroom presentations and filtered truths. A string of recent complaints from anonymous sources rattled him. There were whispers of employee mistreatment, toxic middle management, and a culture that strayed far from the family-like atmosphere he'd once envisioned. Numbers alone couldn't tell the whole story. He needed to see the truth with his own eyes. And so, under the cover of night, and with only a handful of trusted advisors in the know, Alexander crafted a new identity, Ethan Miller, a temp messenger hired from a staffing agency. The transformation was meticulous. The tailored suits gave way to cargo pants and scuffed sneakers. The Rolex was swapped for a basic plastic watch. His dark hair was tousled messily, and he added a pair of thick-rimmed glasses. He looked utterly unremarkable. On a Monday morning, Ethan reported for duty. He quickly realized how different the world looked from the bottom floor. The bustling elevators didn't pause for his badge. The receptionist barely offered a glance. Some managers barked orders without so much as a please, and others took credit for ideas that weren't theirs. He delivered packages, filed reports, and fetched coffee, quietly observing it all. But amidst the gray corridors and grayer attitudes, a spark of color appeared. Her name was Lily Hart. Lily worked in the marketing department, mid-level, overworked, but undeterred. She greeted everyone with a smile, even the temp messenger. Her laugh echoed down sterile halls, a reminder that warmth still lived in the company. She helped Ethan on his first day, taught him the layout, and even brought him tea during a long delivery run. It was kindness without expectation. Ethan Alexander found himself looking forward to their brief encounters. Her stories, her ideas, her dreams of creating campaigns that inspired change. It was intoxicating. But he reminded himself, he wasn't here for love. He was here for truth. As the weeks passed, Alexander's notes thickened. He uncovered unethical behaviors from senior managers, nepotism in promotions, and a disturbing pattern of high employee turnover. More than once, he watched promising ideas from juniors get buried by insecure superiors. Each night, he documented everything. But amidst the growing list of wrongs, Lily remained a bright constant. They started sharing lunches in the small cafe across the street. She spoke about her late mother who had inspired her to pursue marketing, her fear of becoming invisible in a company that often seemed to value titles over talent, and her dream of starting a nonprofit campaign platform someday. Ethan, still in disguise, listened like never before. She made him question more than just the company culture. She made him question who he had become. One day, while delivering a package to the conference room, he overheard Lily's name. It was Laura Brigham, the head of marketing, plotting to offload Lily's project to a male colleague just because he had better executive presence. Alexander's jaw clenched, but he kept his cover. Later that night, he wrote a detailed report naming names. But the dual life was cracking his composure. He was falling for her. Yet how could he tell her the truth? Would she see it as betrayal, deception? And then came the breaking point. Lily was called into HR, set up by her boss for a minor clerical error she didn't commit. Word spread fast. Alexander stormed into his private elevator in the basement, shedding the Ethan disguise. That afternoon, he returned as himself. The company buzzed in shock as Alexander Hale strode into HR with the authority of thunder. Whispered rumors exploded. He halted the meeting mid-sentence. "I believe this young woman has been wrongfully accused," he declared, "and I'd like a full investigation into the behavior of her department head." Lily turned, stunned to see the temp messenger standing in a $1,000 suit, fire in his eyes. The lie unraveled. The fallout was swift and seismic. Department heads were audited, poor managers dismissed, and new ethics training programs implemented. Alexander began weekly open-floor meetings, listening to ideas from the very employees he had once overlooked. As for Lily, she was promoted. Not out of guilt, but because Alexander had reviewed her work, her ideas, her rejected proposals, and saw brilliance. Her campaign pitch, once shelved, became the foundation of Stratagem's next global launch. But between them remained an invisible wall. One evening, weeks after the truth had surfaced, Alexander stood outside the same cafe where they once shared lunch. He waited, holding a simple bouquet, not of roses, but daisies, her favorite. She arrived, wary. "Hey, I brought you flowers," he said. skeptical of how she will respond. Lily didn't speak at first. Then, why did you lie to me? I'm sorry, I never intended to, but I had no choice. She took the flowers from him and started to walk away. Alexander stood there, unsure of what to do next. Then she stopped and turned back to him. Are you coming or what? She said with a warm smile. Alexander returned the smile and quickly walked up to meet her. That night, they sat under the soft glow of streetlights, talking not as CEO and employee, but as two people in love. The company thrived under its new era of empathy, vision, and transparency. And at its heart stood two unlikely souls brought together by truth in disguise. For Alexander Hale, love was never part of the plan. But in seeking to uncover the soul of his company, he found his own and gave it away willingly.